Did you know that the internet and mobile phones were actually invented to be used by the military? In fact, not just that, many of the biggest technological breakthroughs were originally intended for military purposes and were later adapted for civilian use. And when it comes to military weapons, there is no end to the imagination and creativity. Here is a list of 10 weird military inventions that seem straight out of science fiction. Number 10. Phaser. The Personnel Halting and Stimulation Response Rifle, Phaser, is a non-lethal weapon that was designed to disorient and stun enemies instead of outright killing them. This is a light-based gun that was specifically designed to be used by both soldiers and U.S. law enforcement officials, that is the police. The gun can cause temporary blindness to the enemies with focused laser beams. The laser lights operate at alternating wavelengths and serve to disorient people who look at them, leaving them unable to stand, let alone fight. However, the good news is that it does not inflict any permanent damage to people's eyesight. Looking at it, you would think it was straight out of a sci-fi movie, but thanks to technological advancement, weapons like this not only exist in today's world, but are also used. Number 9. Golf Ball Grenade. Even though it's not in use any longer, the V-40 fragmentation grenade helped the U.S. military immensely from the 1960s through the mid-1980s. It was distinguished by its compact size and was no bigger than a golf ball. In fact, soldiers often used to refer to it as a mini frag. It measured 2.5 inches high and 1.5 inches in diameter. But despite its miniature size, the V-40 used a safety pin and lever just like a standard-sized grenade does. However, don't assume just because it was tiny that it wouldn't get the job done as well. The V-40 packed a deadly punch and was considered lethal up to a radius of 5 meters and dangerous up to 300 meters from the point of impact. However, because of its size, the weapon was dangerous for use by soldiers and was eventually discontinued. The short fuse time and tiny pins made it difficult to handle, and they would go off without warning.
That's huge.
Number 8. The Corner Shot Rifle and Grenade Launcher. Soldiers in combat have always struggled to see and fire weapons around corners, making it one of the biggest problems. This can be especially tricky in modern warfare, which often takes place in urban settings. However, there is a weapon in use by U.S. soldiers that helps them to both see and fire around corners. The weapon is called Corner Shot, and it comes in 2 versions, a semi-automatic pistol and a grenade launcher. The barrel pivots to the left or right with the help of a hinge placed in the center of the weapon, while the handle and trigger remain fixed and stationary. A camera is also fixed to the weapon, which enables the soldiers to see where they are shooting at around corners. This corner shot has been a popular gadget in militaries and law enforcement agencies across 15 countries now.
And we're about to figure out what it takes to get toasted like a bagel. But first, let's learn a little bit more about the active denial system.
Number 7. The active denial system. This is another non-lethal weapon that was developed to help disperse crowds by transmitting an invisible electromagnetic radiation beam that creates a burning sensation on people's skin and sends them running. The active denial system heats up water molecules on a person's skin to 130 degrees Fahrenheit from a distance of 500 yards. This is known as a heat ray by scientists and the goodbye effect by senior military officials. Some people call it a form of torture, making it pretty controversial in some circles. However, it cannot be denied that the active denial system has proven extremely effective. According to security experts, the system will eventually be used alongside other non-lethal crowd control methods, such as water cannons, tear gas, and rubber bullets.
Keep the gun on at all times, or in an emergency, just enter the code and then fire the weapon.
Number 6. Digital Revolver. The Armatix Digital Revolver is something straight out of an intergalactic movie. So much so that a version of it was even featured in a recent James Bond film. The futuristic pistol has a digital safety mechanism that is only disabled if the operator is wearing a special wristwatch that can send the unlock signal to the gun. The wristwatch itself can only be activated once the user unlocks it by their fingerprint. This means that the gun can only be fired by its owner, making it easy to protect the gun from being used by people who may have the intention to steal it. It also means that the revolver cannot be used on its owner. According to many gun experts, this approach is the way of the future and a great means of ensuring gun safety. However, it still remains to be seen how widespread this digital revolver gets used. Number 5. The railgun. The U.S. Navy is developing an electromagnetic railgun that can be used to fire a projectile faster than sound travels. Officially known as the 8 megajoule electromagnetic railgun, this shipboard weapon can shoot at Mach 8, which is 8 times faster than the speed of sound, or 5,000 miles per hour. However, it's easy to wonder what such a weapon could possibly be used for. The Navy plans to use it as an anti-aircraft and anti-missile weaponry and to protect warships. However, the railgun is so powerful that it can launch a spaceship into orbit and fire on an entire battlefield from offshore. Moreover, the railgun is powered internally by a device called a flux capacitor, the same name that was also called the device that powered the DeLorean time machine in the movie Back to the Future. This is where science meets fiction. Number 4. Quantum stealth. You probably remember the movie Predator, right? Remember how the Predator was able to use invisible stealth technology to camouflage into the jungle environment around him? And how when he moved, it looked like the jungle itself was moving? Well, it's not just found in sci-fi movies, but in real life as well. This technology, called the quantum stealth, is now in the advanced stages of development by the US military. It helps camouflage people by bending light around the object it's hiding. The result of this is that people and other objects end up turning literally invisible to the naked eye. If you look up images of quantum stealth available on the internet right now, you won't be able to believe this actually exists today. The objective is for the quantum stealth technology to enable soldiers to infiltrate enemy territory without being seen. Because of their invisibility cloak, they can also launch surprise attacks and carry out assassinations.
It's a suit that makes you stronger, faster, and smarter. It sounds like Iron Man, but it's real.
Number 3. Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit, Talos. The U.S. Special Operations Command has managed to develop a Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit, Talos, for soldiers to wear in combat. It is essentially a robotic exoskeleton that soldiers wear when fighting in a combat zone. With Talos, soldiers can withstand bullets and fire, monitor their vital signs, and see in the dark. The Pentagon has called the project the Iron Man suit. There have also been reports that the next generation combat suit will be made out of liquid metal that can solidify into an impenetrable suit on command. These suits are also expected to increase soldiers' strength and do everything but fly. There have already been several prototypes of the suit developed, and a first generation of the suit was operational with American soldiers in 2018.
What VIDAR does is bring a small enough payload to fit within a Scan-Eagle UAV.
Number 2. Sentient unmanned vehicles. Straight out of the Terminator, the U.S. military has now been experimenting with sentient unmanned vehicles that literally think the same as their human creators. Over the past 2 decades, these vehicles/drones have become more common with the military. However, most of these unmanned vehicles, including helicopters and airplanes, have been piloted by a soldier or technician at a safe distance from harm up until now. But now, these unmanned vehicles are being developed in such a way that they can think and operate on their own. In fact, artificial intelligence is being explored deeper and deeper by military scientists, with the implications that robots and unmanned military vehicles that can make their own decisions aren't too far away. According to military planners, this is the best option to keep soldiers safe in combat.
So this is the head, which holds the LEDs and electronics inside. This push button is how we activate.
Number 1. Vomit gun. Remember when wizards in Harry Potter used candy that would instantly make you puke? Well, it's not just magic anymore. Believe it or not, there has been a vomit gun invented in real life. In 2007, the U.S. Navy signed a contract to develop a weapon that would use radio frequency to impact a person's sense of hearing and equilibrium. This person would immediately experience severe motion sickness and throw up. At the same time, the Department of Homeland Security's Science and Technology Department and a company called Intelligent Optical Systems developed an LED incapacitator that emits a rapid pulse of different colored lights that cause dizziness, headaches, and of course, vomiting. As with many other weapons on this list, the vomit gun is a non-lethal weapon that is used to subdue people and gain the upper hand on enemy combatants. And that's a wrap on 10 weird military inventions that actually exist. What do you think about the relevant question to the video? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.